Mr. President of the Republic, dear Emmanuel Macron, Your Excellencies, the ambassadors, parliamentarians, ladies and gentlemen, ministers, the President of the Metropolitan Area of Greater Paris, the elected officials of Paris, the prefects, ladies and gentlemen, Madam, after 2 weeks of worrying about the future of our country, I'm delighted to welcome on behalf of the people of Paris the President of the Republic, which they have elected. With your election, France is avoiding the worst, which was a prospect. And France has returned to herself. She is breathing again, and she is looking to the future, which she has chosen. The people of Paris love freedom too much not to celebrate it. And that's what I'm doing on its behalf by paying tribute to your election as a victory of the Republic. It's the Republican protocol which leads each president to inaugurate his mandate in the City Hall of Paris. But today, it's the spirit of the Republic that counts and which inspires us. By dedicating your first visit to the city of Paris, you are sealing with the Parisians an alliance against everything that disfigures democracy. This alliance transcends us. It goes beyond the traditional political boundaries. Mr. President of the Republic, the emergence of global cities, of which Paris is part of the great changes affecting our century. We know that in spite or because of these changes, the history of Paris is inseparable from that of the state and of the Republic. History teaches us that this relationship between the city of Paris and the state has always been a complex one. But what it teaches us is the concern for a balance of power between the two parties to this alliance. In 1977, the election of the first mayor of Paris by universal suffrage, Jacques Suffrage, strengthened the need for this alliance. And what history also teaches us as a major constant of the relationship between Paris and the state is that everybody moves forward and everybody wins. Mr. President of the Republic, you will need the passionate support of the Parisians to rise to the challenges facing France. Paris will need you to continue to expand and to extend its reputation. Aware of this reciprocity, we must write a new chapter in the history of this relationship with your election. You can count on Paris to help France to succeed. The challenges we face together are those of Europe and of the world. And the first challenge is that of climate change. We all know that the planet is threatened. We know that pollution is killing more and more people, and we know that we have to act here and now. The historic agreement on climate change in Paris authorizes and even obliges us. In 2015, in this room, the mayors of cities from all over the world made a commitment to the adoption of the Paris Agreement. Among the 40 major metropolitan cities, they are mobilizing to cut greenhouse gas emissions. We know it's not just a question of a scientific challenge, it's a political, social, cultural challenge. This challenge, each of us has to rise to this challenge, to take up this challenge. And this is what I'm doing as the mayor of Paris with my team, and this is what the Parisians are doing. We are determined to rise to this emergency. There is an urgent sense of finding the need to find solutions. And I am dedicating all my decisions as the mayor to finding these solutions. And the Parisians are also investing their generosity, commitment, and energy in adapting the city. We have transformed the banks of the River Seine into a park, an urban urban park. That's one of the solutions. Ecology is for us a necessity and also an opportunity. We need you, Mr. President, to rise to this challenge. At a time when diesel oil is killing, the fumes from diesel oil are killing, we have to turn the page. We are counting on you to take all the opportunities that occur thanks to the energy and ecological transition. These opportunities do good to everybody, such as the development of eco-neighborhoods, which create wealth, and the circular economy networks, and they also make us dream of the flying taxis and so forth. And we must all share these commitments. And this is the second challenge we have to face. Like all metropolitan areas, Paris has to accommodate the winners and the losers of globalization. The winners are those who have taken up the opportunities created by Paris. But those who have been excluded from the fruits of globalization remind us every day, as Professor Yunus, Nobel Peace Prize, said, it's not the poor who invented poverty. Turning Paris into an inclusive city for all is our project. For Parisians, Paris would not be Paris if life was only a fight between those who are satisfied and those who are dissatisfied. So there's a consensus view in Paris in favor of spending 10 billion euros a year to support the vulnerable, the most vulnerable sections of our population, the refugees who come to Paris in poverty, the homeless people excluded by our social system. Paris will not be abandoning those men, women and children to their fate. And I'm thinking also of the middle classes who are fighting to remain in Paris. What brings all the Parisians together is to see their city be a city of opportunity. What brings us together is the future of this city, of this promising city, with its promises for Paris. Paris's horizon, I'm thinking of the young talented people, entrepreneurs, researchers, their horizon is the world. We believe that justice and social cohesion are also unavoidable challenges and objectives for our society. And we must be prepared to put our money where our mouths are. And we are developing facilities. We are welcoming 10,000 refugees in 2 humanitarian care centers. We believe, Mr. President, that it's possible to solve these social issues with the help of the state, but also with voluntary organizations who are very well represented in this hall. They are in the front line in this social issue. Paris intends to be a city, a cosmopolitan city, a city where people share everything, and a creative city. I was very proud of finding that the score obtained by the Front National and by you were, for the Front National, very low in the lower income neighborhoods. And although lower income people are angry, we try to accommodate to live up to the promises of the Republic. We have decided to dedicate 25% of our overall investments in the underprivileged neighborhoods. And we also work with the rural areas around Paris, notably in urban agriculture, in urban food. It is fundamental that to be able to share the successes of Paris with the whole metropolitan area, the whole of the Paris region, and the whole of France, of course. We are relying on your support, Mr. the President of the Republic. What we have to share is not only the wealth of the present day, the wealth of the future, and that's the reason why we are counting so much on creation. Innovation is technological, but also ecological, social, democratic, cultural. It is the inexhaustible energy that makes the Greater Paris project. The Greater Paris is an ecosystem which is recognized for its ability to change and to innovate. The digital revolution to which we are committed leads us to reinvent our city. We are calling for innovative projects from all over the world with SME incubators, digital creative laboratories. We want to achieve scientific excellence and economic dynamism. This attractiveness is embedded in our day-to-day lives. For us, there aren't just startups on the one hand and small businesses on the other, the digital world and the crafts, small crafts, light industry on the other. People who work together, talk to each other, share with each other in the streets, in the neighborhoods. In Paris, we know how to combine our differences and to come together when circumstances require it, when the circumstances require that we should declare who we are, what we are, and we do so together. The Parisians reacted extraordinarily to the attacks which we have suffered. This confirms that there is in Paris a single love for freedom. Paris's response, the response of Parisians, has been beautiful and powerful. We have told the terrorists that they will not benefit from our hatred. Paris will never choose to sacrifice its freedom for security. But we also know what our freedom must owe to our security. This balance we achieve by working together with the Prefecture of Police of Paris. I would like to pay tribute to the Prefect of Police and all the law enforcement organizations that protect us, the military, the firemen, the police, the gendarmes, that they have the trust and the confidence of Parisians. It's thanks to them that our Parisian society can experience the beautiful democratic experience that leads to immense transfers of power to the citizens. That is the whole purpose of our participatory budget process, which allows each of us to participate. The Parisians themselves, with their elected officials, are committed to this. By refusing to accept censorship or by saying it's not possible, by converting never into why not into how into when. I know that you are aware and that you are interested in this method, which has enabled us to restructure our organizing ourselves by reforming the heart of the administration of Paris. The response of elected officials to our crisis has been to put their trust in the citizens by giving them more space to express themselves, more tools to inform themselves, more power to influence decisions. The new law on the status of Paris recognizes and protects this special model based on respect for the alliance between Paris and the state. The law on the Greater Paris metropolitan area lays the foundations for more autonomy, which is in line with the historic trends. Mr. the President of the Republic, I'm in favor of decentralization. In my view, the Republic does not weaken itself by strengthening the autonomy, the authority of local government organizations. Paris will be free and will want to have the resources to meet its democratic commitments. It seems evident to me that the Republic, in the current crisis, needs local elected officials at a time when the French have lost confidence in the word of their politicians, in the actions of their authorities. The mayors of the towns and cities continue to assume the responsibilities of the Republic. The local scale is the new center of gravity of public policy. I'm thinking of the workshops that we are are creating, the creches, the social housing units. Every time we take concrete action, we materialize, we give expression to the values of the Republic. This ability to bring people together beyond the geographical borders, the political borders. Paris is at the service of a great project which mobilizes us. I've just had a committee meeting on assessing the candidacy of Paris for organizing the Olympic Games, the Paralympic Games in Paris in 2024. For 2 years, we have worked unceasingly to develop a candidature that will bear fruit and which will benefit France and the Greater Paris region. This will enable the sport and its values to transform our society evermore. We need to go back to the basics of the spirit of the Olympic movement and the humanism which inspired Baron de Coubertin a century ago. And now we want to transform our territory by abolishing the borders between Paris and the northern suburbs of Paris, Saint-Denis. Mr. President of the Republic, you have expressed your enthusiasm for Paris's candidature for the Olympic Games in 2024. And we want to welcome the whole of the world to these games. Thank you for your support, which we much appreciate. For 2 years, we have been traveling the world with Tony Estanguet, Bernard Lapasset, Guy Druck, to convince people to create a desire for celebrating the Olympic movement in Paris in 2024. And I would like to salute the presence of Thierry Rey, who shares with us this commitment in the team organizing the Olympic Games. This grouping will mobilize all the energies that will help to bring this project to fruition. We want to open up new prospects for youth. Mr. the President of the Republic, you are inaugurating your mandate in a city that fears nothing, that is interested in everything. This city, the Parisians love their city on their behalf. I wish Paris to inspire you by its motto, which corresponds so well to it and which will accompany us during the years to come. By its strength, Paris has always faced up to the trials. Paris is finally generous, a generous city which has given of its best to those who love it, who respect it. I know that you share this state of mind, and you can count also on my commitment. Winning Paris, enabling Paris to win, is winning for France. Long live the Republic, long live Paris, long live France.